It was they go by it will be part of the rift, I think. No, it's not. Oh, where are they? Regina reminders. Right now we did that. Miracle Jim Lauren. Stephanie and Brian. Ryan and Robbie. Let's do Ryan and Robbie. Okay, so I have to do Ryan and Robbie. We knew this. Can I do this? Nope. Ryan Roottree. Didn't take over with Clark as initially planned. Even tried to rush the process. Okay. He dropped the title from the was dropped from the title entirely. There are hundreds of results about this development, but most articles are retelling the basic details. Some variants with heavy speculation based on an article with Ryan in Business Watch. Okay. He's also done some interviews saying that the truth of what he went on behind the scene is not something he wishes to discuss. Instead, he hopes to release a movie about it someday. 3 weeks ago, his mother died in Paris, France. Him and Robley may have made amends. Periodicals. This is old. Oh wait, I don't even think I got this. I didn't do this at all. I don't think I did. Difficulty. And an article about 2 months ago after the Roottree rift about what already happened with Roottree. The article mentions that nobody from Roottree that they reached out to was willing to go on record. Instead, the timeline of the events has been constructed from public record, accidental leaks, and the source of the inside. The only parts that were new to you are the most vague parts, the ones supposedly confirmed by their anonymous source. We did know Carl died, they had a vote. They're supposed to be Ron. It was because of his experience running RR Productions. I forgot about that. And because he was a well-known and well-respected Roottree. But he seemed way too eager. They were worried he might gut the clan's trust to remove Robbie. The family was notoriously unwilling to do anything that could risk their wealth. They stalled and Robbie became frustrated with the delay, which is why he tried to force it. Chaos within the family. They tried to save face by allowing him to take over as co-president with Clark, but according to Business Watch sources, Ryan was impossible to deal with. It seemed like he was unwilling to protect the clan's trust, and they eventually let him go. Okay. What made him is the death of the mom the reason why he decided to rekindle? After that, the role passed slowly to Clark, who nobody was excited about but seemed like the safest choice. Alright. Now let's do Robbie. That's annoying. This is old. We knew that. Ooh, okay. Robert Roottree was released from French prison after serving a few years for assault. His embezzlement and arrest were partially featured in 6 pieces, and has since become much more publicly infamous. He has not yet returned to the United States, but when journalists reached out to him recently after the death of his mother, he had issued a blank statement a few days ago. The death of my mother was hard on our family. My brother and I, after spending time together caring for her and mourning, have finally made amends. It was a highly transformative few weeks when it came to our relationship. I'm in recovery from my addiction, and a major aspect of that process is that I wish to stay private. Still in Paris. I'm in recovery for addiction. Made up with his brother, which is very nice, and I'm happy for him. Okay, that's you guys. There's so much going on here. Let's do who is okay. Does anyone else up here have pictures that needs to be added? I don't think so. Nope. Okay. Now, did I already do Christine Farrow Garland? This is you guys. Okay, so it would be Elizabeth's daughter. I think they're still married though. What I'm gonna do is because we know there's a spouse. Whoever this is has a very long lineage. Well, that's fine. Adoption of otherwise. Interesting. I'm going to put Christine Barrow here. And I'm going to put secretary. Which would have been I know I have information somewhere. Steve Garland. I don't think this is her, but maybe. Let's try Steven. No, I'm pretty sure we did this. It is Steve. So why do I just get Steven and not Steve? Local. Oh, wait. Second, this month's farmer cooking class is Gourmet for the Groovy. The blurb mentions that he has been giving lessons from his home kitchen for the last month so that he can keep an eye on his son. Okay. Married to Christine. Garland. No, what was her? Barrow. Has sons together. The blurb mentioned that he's given less. We did that. The third was from 1991, entitled "Local Author Sued by Former Butler County Resident." It seems that a local author by the name of Mark Zimmer was sued by Garland. After Garland saw Zimmer promoting his book Kitchen Tales on television. His recipe book was partially plagiarized from the receipts that Steve Garland could give his students during his cooking lessons before he moved. Okay. The article mentions that the author of receipts are hard to copyright. Garland accompanied each receipt with a short fiction about how he learned it. These usually doubled as a way to remember certain ingredients. Garland's bean salad, for example, involved making a trade with the gnome for some magic beans. Apparently, these stories were found word for word in Zimmer's cookbook. In addition, the additional stories that followed the same format. Interesting. Let's go down the list. How he met his wife. You know that. Also need to look up gourmet for the groovy. Okay, anything here? Nope. And Steve. Library. Mark Zimmer. Kitchen. Bells. Out of print. Re-release as Garnishing the Truth. An entire description. A recipe book that contains stories. Oh. What is happening? A cookbook credited to Garland and Zimmer. It was released in 1994. It was actually quite successful. After the duo appeared to promote it on a daily talk show, there have been multiple printings since. According to the book review, the recipes are accompanied by stories that help the reader remember. Okay. I doubt we'll get anything here, but I'll change the name to Steve next time. Okay. There we go. The introduction of this book is a series of acknowledgments from Steve. The first is, Christine, thank you for everything. Your support means the world to me. You are the apple of my pie. The second is to James and Robert. Thank you. You're amazing men and incredible chefs. James Garland. Robert Garland. You are amazing chefs. I guess I'm a good teacher. The final is to Mark Zimmer. You proved my storytelling approach to recipes could be popular. Without you, this book couldn't exist. There is also a foreword by Mark. I first met Steve in 1978 where he taught a cooking class. The next time I saw him was over a decade later and he was suing me for studying his recipes. Yes, really. So you might wonder what I'm doing in this introduction. Well, it turns out Steve and I have more in common than we thought. Instead of settling in court, we settled it at McCarran's Brewhouse over a game of darts. They said they give us the first drink of the night free for an entire year for mentioning them. That's funny. By the end of the game, he and I agreed we both rather make a ton of money together than spend a ton of money on lawyers. It's pretty rare to meet your best friend so late in life, but when I decided to retire, I moved to Boston just so we could hang out. So if you're browsing this book in a bookstore, please buy our book. We need some more money for when the free bar runs out, and the bookstore could probably use the sale. No. Okay. That was sweet. So, sons, James and Robert. And then eventually the two became best friends. Let's go to Robert. Huh. James. Come on, give us something. Oh, it's annoying. There's only so much you can be. This is interesting though. Oh wait, could be here. It could be here. I don't think they split up though. Huh. Thank you. Kitchen Tales was a story-based recipe which credited by Mark that has some success. One book collector states that the publishers were unprepared for the demand that there were no second printing, so it's unusual to find a copy in the wind. You find an alternative medicine website which focuses on cooking with natural ingredients. It mentions that one of Kitchen Tales' recipes used salt water. The owner of the site has included a scan of that recipe which was added to your evidence. If you switch out the salt water in the recipe for a mix of 2/3 spring water and 1/3 filtered seawater, it tastes great. What? Mark Zimmer. Rochelle and her husband Mark have a few mentions. Both were local business owners. Rochelle. Oh, this is going to annoy me. Let's start at the top. Ron Guy. Miracle Lauren Bess. Stuart Zach Christine. Wait, okay, no, that's Steve. Oh, I have him. Oh, never mind. Anna Mom, Corinne. Mary Webb. Local business. owners. Married to Rochelle, who owned Mark owned a local bookstore called Bookmarks. Both closed in 1992. Oh wait, was it their? Wait. Their daughter, their son eloped with freaking crap. Bess Williams. Maybe it's in random. Nope. Their daughter, their son married Christine. Oh crap. Random. Son married Christine Farrow. Let's continue going. Let's go back. Bookmarks. Really? Let's periodical. So Lauren did do a book sign in 1970. Yeah. Nothing relevant. Okay, now let's look to see what is this? Kitchen Tales is a book that contains recipes and stories. It has mild popularity but seemed to disappear from online marketplaces in 1992. We found a scan of a story on a website. It demonstrates how to bake plated loaf. For years, two bakers, Flora and Yates, flirted. They grew their friendship, compared recipes, and combined knowledge. She loved his salt and pepper beard. He adored her rosemary cheeks. They thought sweetly about one another, but he was one day whisked away, conscripted to bake the army's bread. By the oil of the lamp, Flora's tears began to salt her bread. The recipe asked the reader to combine flour, yeast, sugar, olive oil, and rosemary. Combine the salt and water together and add to the mixture and whisk until the dough begins to rise. It was 10 to 12 years later they met again, seemingly by fate. Flora's unique dough had earned her a position as the king's personal baker. Yeats had found success as well. He baked for the kingdom's 45 diplomats. One day they returned from the Dutch Isles with a gift, 450 unbaked loaves, and were sent to a palace bakery to teach a method that required no kneading. Allow the dough to proof for 10 to 12 hours, then spread it out and let it sit for 45 minutes on a floured baking sheet with no kneading. Next, gather Next, prepare a Dutch oven preheated to 450 degrees. Upon seeing Yates, Flora was both delighted and distraught. She felt as if she was torn in two. She had not been made aware of the gift and had already prepared buns for the palace ovens. She wished to greet Yates warmly, but was struck by fears that he'd be unable to bake with her, that she faced retribution for being unprepared. She cried to Yates, adding more salt to her dough. Cut the dough into 2 equal squares and lightly sprinkle salt upon the top of only one of them. Yates eased her pain. He insisted she had no obligation to prepare for a return she thought impossible, but he shared her fear of retribution. He knew that if they did not solve her predicament, they missed their final chance to bake together. In the end, instead of wallowing in the present, they worked together to shape the future. They twisted and entwined their doughs and baked them as one. Thus was born the plated dough. Word quickly spread of this new delight. The king's degree or royal parchment was that it would be considered a delicacy. Roll and twist the pieces to entwine them, then take the twist and wrap around the inside of the Dutch oven. Atop parchment from outside inward to make a spiral. Bankrolled by the king, Flora and Yates spent their days baking together. They traveled for 45 years, then settled down for 15 more. Their souls were golden with no regret. Lastly, bake for 45 minutes. Remove lid and observe until crust is golden brown, which can take up to 15. What in the world? I have no idea. I don't know. This is weird. Um. Hmm. I wonder if I can do Cicely Sanchez. I doubt it, but is it a Y or a E? Nope. Ugh. Hmm. That was bookmarked. What's the... I... Come on. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, I hate that there's never anything here. Let's try this. Oh. Okay, I need to look at these farmhands, maybe. No major expenses. Crazy. Farm. Samantha Madsen. Okay, John Miller. Elizabeth Farrow. We know that. Thomas Green. I need to know Beth's name. Beth Knox. Office. Patrick was hired. Christine Farrow. Joanna Robertson went to Joanna Fellows. They both left. And Christine married her husband. Ugh. There's some. Okay. Did I do Zachariah actually? Let's search. Zachariah Morden. This makes it so much easier. This is old. Some Picklety has nothing. Okay. Did I look up the Raffer tunes actually? I think I did. Maybe I just did this. That once had a photo of Clark on it no longer exists. Instead, it redirects to a site for a telephone number called 1010. Okay. No longer exists. Redirects to. Okay. I'm just gonna look this up because why not? Apparently, a phone number you can dial before making a long distance call to receive a discount from the telephone company. For the past few months, you've been inundated for ads for it and other services like it. This includes TV spots starring celebrities, radio commercials, and parodies of popular songs, and banner ads for it on many different websites. So Raffer Tunes was most likely purchased by a third party. Okay. And because I'm meticulous, and okay, let's go back. And let's nothing. Interesting. Nothing still. Hmm. What about work time temp actually? Many offices all over the United States. No connection. Let's hit the search. And okay. I need to figure out who LBP is. Let's go back. Let's figure out who this is. At least her real name. There shouldn't be anything here. Ron. He's in 2 different places, but that's fine. Guy. Sam. 5 P's. Okay. Miracle. Poor Lauren. Bess. I do Bess. What if can I search without a title? Oh, that's annoying. Oh wow. She lived outside of Miami and died tragically young in a major hurricane. Died young in hurricane. 1926. Minor history with the Roottrees, our own notable book, Family Man. We knew that. Re-release. There's a dedication to his hurricane statistics that also mentions Bess. The Boccariolo Library, not far from where she lives, was partially destroyed in the hurricane. When they rebuilt, they named the nonfiction section after her. The library was expanded again in 1950 and then closed in 1963 when multiple larger libraries opened into the surrounding area that made it redundant. Um, yeah. Pretty sure I have that anyway. That should be this. Huh. Let's go back to Elias. The first Anderson Maple Farm only used to be a popular tourist attraction during the summer months when it's special tours. Ever since, we knew that. I did read this. Let's look at the farm. Oh, that's annoying. Nada. This is old. Elias. Difficulty, news time, modern music. Probably going to be this. Probably business. This is old. Still old. Okay, indecisionitis was a disease coined by a popular sketch show as part of a fake pharmaceutical advertisement for a Jit Together. While the segment isn't fully about the Roottree Candy Company, it was released in the weeks after their bizarre response to the release of the six-piece by Sam Madsen, and references the recent news. In the sketch, a woman ordered a number 5 at a drive-through speaker. After pulling forward, she changed her mind at the window, asking to switch it to a number 3. This caused a lengthy backup and annoyance among the restaurant's employees and other patrons. After she pulled away, as the employees began helping other customers, the same woman then barged into the restaurant and passed the current line, loudly complaining that she didn't receive her number 5. After this, the sketch transitioned from the restaurant scene into a pharmaceutical commercial. A doctor claims that the woman was suffering from indecisionitis, a disease that causes extreme confusion and irritability, and recently has been found to severely hinder the leaders of large corporations, but could also spread to humans. The doctor then recommends Jit Together, a fake pharmaceutical drug. Multiple testimonies use variations of the catchphrase, "When I can't make my decisions, I've got to get my Jit together." The final testimonial includes a bald man in silhouette and a voice changer saying, "I'm not comfortable sharing who I am, but I am comfortable saying that before I take over my family's candy company, I really should have gotten my Jit together." Really? Funny, but so weird. Let's see. Search. Because why not? Okay. That was with 6 pieces. Nada. Nada. Ugh. Let's do this again. Sam Madsen. Ugh. What am I missing? Lord. No. Done you. Let's try Sterling. Nope. we know this. Let's just search. Periodicals and music. That's annoying. We knew that. Nope. Chris, what's your mom name again? Jane LaRoe. This is old. Biography.